And I have seen in trees, they get pretty big. I'm gonna give it a little rinse. This time being definitely one of those times. Hello everybody and welcome to our vlog. If it's your first time here, I'm Adam. This is A1A Adventures, where we just exploit everything we do outside, our animals, our pets. And today's a great example. Because today, if you haven't seen our other videos, we've randomly been having these hitchhiking lizards in our shop. And I don't know where they're coming from, other than outside. So I had a client before, he was about to pay, right? Then he goes, he's looking down here and he goes, oh, that looks like a cool little chameleon you got over here. And I'm like, a chameleon? I just stopped him and I'm like, wait, hold on. Came around from the other side of the desk over to here, and I'm looking around and I'm like, what? And this thing was right here, right on this leaf. Where did we started ripping them? Right from here. Kind of ripped off these couple stems because I went over and grabbed the cage as these leaves were hanging over here and this animal was right on top of the leaf. I closed the whole entire tank with the leaves inside and we just broke off the leaves. And this may resemble some of our other thumbnails from our other videos, but this little critter carrier has come in handy multiple times. And this time being definitely one of those times. And down here in South Florida, we have an array of wild animals. We have anoles that are outside, different kind of lizards, Bahamian curly tails outside. There's some chameleons, there's all different types of snakes. These, on the other hand, I have seen in trees, and these, after Googling and identifying it, what I thought it was right when I saw it, they get pretty big. And if you look them up and research them yourself, most of the time, these things do not have a friendly face, and they usually look like they want blood. But because it's not one of these little pygmy lizards that don't get much bigger than this, which are fun and cool, don't get me wrong, to raise, but I want something maybe I can hold. Maybe this would be a cool challenge just to handle and to see if I could hand tame it, which would be interesting. But they're also pretty colorful, and I've also had a reptile set up vacant here at the shop, waiting to fill it with not knowing what to fill it with. So I was thinking maybe a chameleon, which would have been cool, you know, but this came just in the right nick of time. And as we do in our other videos, I'm gonna go through a quick rehabilitation, reviving state, or revival effort for this animal, that we can go ahead and just get it bounced back, because I don't know how long it's been inside here. This one looks by far, out of every one we found in this shop, looks the healthiest. So I could tell it's either probably been in here for a short period of time, maybe a day or so, or it could have, its parents could have laid an egg in one of these plants that I have, and it could have hatched freshly indoors in this shop right here, right now. But without any further wait time or ado, we are going to introduce to you what we found. Currently getting his basking light, also with no name nor gender, as of now, is the mysterious Cuban, well, looks possibly, and probably, shall we say, a hatchling Cuban night anole. Check him out. Look at those eyes. The size of a finger. So let's go give this guy some water, and since he's an exceptionally cool, different find from the other ones that I personally would think would be more interesting to raise here in captivity, and that's it. So let's give it some water and get to it. The reviving portion of your life. Very active, very healthy looking. Almost resembled a chameleon. That's why I was trying to look up Florida chameleons, but when I first saw him, the first thing I thought of with those stripes, Cuban night anole, especially with that design right under their eye. That stripe they have, I've seen these guys right there. That's a good example of one. You look like an adult one. You kind of do resemble a chameleon though. Okay, so I have added a small layer of water to here. So you can somewhat, this is definitely way more active than anything we have ever found. He is trying to get out of here so fast, so much. There's probably the least need for revival out of this animal compared to anything else we've ever found. You can see some skin back there is kind of exfoliating from his body. But you are definitely an active little guy. These things, when they're in the street, sometimes you see them and they just run across the street, or they really don't move that fast. They're kind of like a, I don't know, unpredictable, flighty animal. Look at those eyes though, they go all the way back. 360-degree viz. This guy is so alert. He's kind of still, he's breathing a little bit hard. I'm gonna walk away for a little while just to give him some little ambient relaxing time. I'm also gonna put him back under that heat light so he's comfortable. Because if we are in fact gonna keep this guy and maybe put him in a tank, because they'll definitely eat superworms and mealworms and crickets, everything we already have for the bearded dragons. Don't want him to get off on the wrong foot. Someone definitely was thirsty. You see that? Totally. I would say was probably in here for 2 days or more. Usually reptiles, like, they'll react and drink like that when they sense water, at least if it's 48 hours or more. If, you know, depending on what type of animal. If they're desert dwellers, they could stay without water for usually a little bit longer, but these guys being tropical, yeah, I'd say required a little bit water. Some of you might be asking, like, but why would you keep it? Why would you keep it? Let me tell you something. We used to do a lot of reptile shows. I've seen these things on tables before, just like I've seen standard, regular, green iguanas, which we have everywhere in Florida. You wanna know the retail value on those things? They're equivalent to these guys, $10 to $15. So, when you have a breeder who is obviously a retail breeder, whether they're making small margins on these animals, which is only a couple bucks, or they're breeding them themselves. Me personally, I wouldn't find it lucrative to breed an animal worth $10 to $15. $10 to $15. So, when you do find these on tables at reptile shows, they are in basically a 12-inch circular Tupperware. They're not happy. They're sub-adult, if not adult, and they're not happy. If you see those things and you see their teeth, they look like this. And I'll tell you what, almost every picture looking up a Cuban nightingale looks like this. So, yeah, that's probably what it's gonna be like when you take it out of the box. Am I excited for that? No. But am I excited for this little guy? Yes. Because you won't be able to find these guys that small unless you happen to just come across a breeder who had them, whether it was from a wholesaler, whether he caught them and they were wild caught and they were selling them at a show. If this lizard could have come into the best hands of anyone, right here. Because this hobby's fun, man. So let me just show you amongst this mess back here. Oh, brother. But I got my tank down here. It's a 20-gallon tall, which will be nice because these guys are arboreal creatures. They are arboreal, which means they like trees, they like height, they like altitude. With that being a 20-gallon tall, not a wide tank, at least we'll be able to get some height out of this guy. His ratio of size to this tank is swell because he's so small. This is like having him in, like, say, a 100-gallon tall if he was an adult. Just look at him. Living life, spread eagle. Look at those legs. Look at those legs. Loves that light. Just relaxing, enjoying the rehab. It's not too intense, right? Spa day for a nightingale. Thank you, viewers, for watching. There's still so much more. I still gotta grab this guy out of here, too. Make sure you stay tuned, hit that notification bell button below so you stay updated, because we still gotta build the tank for this guy. I gotta build the tank right now, but in our next video, you will see that. So you can watch this little guy grow. We're definitely gonna update the tank eventually because he's gonna get bigger. So if you wanna watch, and we gotta name him too, so make sure you comment below what you think a good name for this guy would be, despite his journey, and I don't know, anything with green or knights, or be creative. Also, please like and share this video so we can grow our channel. And there are gonna be so many more adventures, so many more animals to come. We need your help. If you could share, like, and subscribe, and thank you for your support. A1A Adventures.